For years, every single Russian drone that got shot down over Ukraine died the same way. A human being, exhausted, staring at a shaky screen at 3 in the morning, flying an interceptor by hand, hoping their reflexes were fast enough to catch something racing through the dark at 300 miles an hour. That era just ended. Ukraine's defense minister just confirmed something that sounds like science fiction. An interceptor drone that hunts, tracks, and kills a Russian attack drone almost entirely on its own. A human clicks one button. That's it. Everything after that, the chase, the lock, the kill, happens without a single hand on the controls. This isn't a prototype. This isn't a demo reel. This already happened, in real combat, against a real Russian Shahed, over Kharkiv. And it means the war in Ukraine's skies just quietly turned into something almost nobody is talking about yet. A fight between two artificial intelligences, with humans mostly just watching from the sidelines. Stay with me, because once you understand what Ukraine just revealed, you'll see exactly why this might matter, more than any missile strike or fighter jet you've heard about this year. Let's start with what actually happened. Ukraine's defense minister, Mikhailo Fedorov, announced that Ukrainian forces successfully carried out a combat trial of an AI-driven autonomous interceptor drone against a Russian Shahed in Kharkiv region. The system automated 95% of the entire engagement, starting from the moment the interceptor launches, all the way to the moment the Shahed is destroyed. The only human involvement left is picking the target off a screen and issuing the strike command. Everything after that, the flight path, the tracking, the final approach, the actual kill, happens without a person steering it. Think about why that matters so much. For years, shooting down a Shahed has depended almost entirely on a skilled human operator, flying an interceptor drone by hand, in the dark, chasing something moving incredibly fast, using nothing but a shaky video feed and their own reflexes. That job is exhausting, it's dangerous, and honestly, it's a job humans were never built to do perfectly. Machines don't get tired. Machines don't blink at the wrong second. Machines don't panic when a target suddenly changes direction. By handing over 95% of that job to an AI system, Ukraine just removed the single biggest bottleneck that's been limiting how many drones a defense team can shoot down at once. And that bottleneck is exactly what Russia has been trying to exploit. Because here's the uncomfortable truth. Russia's drones have been getting faster, and Russia has been sending more of them, all at the same time. Russia's newer attack drone, known as the Geran-4, is jet-powered now, instead of just propeller-driven. It can cruise at 300 to 350 kilometers per hour, and burst all the way up to 500, even 600 kilometers per hour, in short spurts. To put that in perspective, that's faster than a lot of Ukraine's cheaper interceptor drones can even fly. Which means, for a while, some of these Shaheds could simply outrun the very machines sent to stop them. On top of that, Russia has started bolting electronic warfare jammers directly onto these attack drones, specifically designed to confuse and defeat Ukraine's cheaper interceptor systems. So, Ukraine isn't just dealing with faster drones. It's dealing with faster drones that are also actively trying to blind and jam the systems meant to shoot them down. This is where the story gets even more interesting, because Russia hasn't just been adding speed and jammers. Just this month, Russian state media showed off a new version of the Geran-4, sometimes called the Geran-4 Seeker, that uses machine vision AI for targeting. In simple terms, this drone doesn't just fly blindly toward a set of coordinates anymore. It can actually see, recognize, and lock onto its target on its own during the final seconds of flight, using artificial intelligence built right into the drone itself. Ukrainian intelligence has confirmed Russia began using this jet-powered variant against Ukrainian targets back in May. So, think about what that means. This is no longer just Ukraine building smart defenses against dumb Russian drones. Both sides are now putting artificial intelligence into their machines. Russia's newest Shaheds can see their target using AI. Ukraine's newest interceptors can now hunt and kill using AI. This has quietly become an AI versus AI war, playing out almost every single night over Ukrainian skies, and most people watching the news have no idea it's even happening. Now let's talk about what Ukraine has actually been building to fight back, because this isn't just one single autonomous interceptor. It's a whole growing family of AI-powered hunters, each one solving a slightly different problem. Back in March of this year, Ukraine's Ministry of Defense officially approved a system called the Jedi Shahed Hunter. This is a vertically launched interceptor drone, weighing just over 4 kilograms, built with 4 powerful electric motors and a high-capacity battery. What makes Jedi special is how it gets its information. Data from radar systems gets fed to it automatically, letting it rush into position and engage a target almost the moment a threat is detected, without waiting on a slow chain of human decisions passed down the line. It also carries daylight and thermal cameras, so it can operate day or night. And it's built to autonomously detect, track, and strike targets across a protective radius of up to 40 kilometers. Ukraine's stated goal with systems like this is bold: spot 100% of aerial threats in real time, and intercept at least 95% of the missiles and drones coming at them. Then, just days ago, Ukraine revealed something even newer, a system called Cyclop. And this one has a genuinely clever twist that sets it apart from almost everything before it. Most interceptor drones work by chasing their target, racing after a Shahed, and trying to close the distance before it reaches its destination. Cyclop does something different. Instead of chasing its prey, it climbs above it. It gets altitude first, positioning itself higher than the incoming threat, and then comes down on top of it. Because Russia's drones have been flying faster and higher to escape Ukraine's cheaper interceptors, Ukraine built a hunter that doesn't even try to outrun them anymore. It simply gets above them and lets gravity and positioning do the rest. Cyclop actually comes in 2 versions. A cheaper variant, built to handle slower, lower-flying targets, and a high-performance variant, specifically designed to catch fast Shaheds flying at higher altitudes. And according to Ukraine's defense ministry, different versions of this Cyclop system have quietly been active at the front for several years already. This wasn't some untested idea rushed out for a press release. It's a system that had already proven itself in real combat before Ukraine ever officially confirmed it existed. And this is genuinely part of a much bigger wave. Ukraine's defense ministry codified 413 separate unmanned aerial systems in just the first half of this year alone. And interceptor drones are one of the fastest-growing categories in that entire list. There are now more than 20 separate companies inside Ukraine building interceptor drones. Some of these interceptors cost as little as $1,000 each, are small enough to fit inside a duffel bag, and can fly between 195 and 280 miles an hour, depending on the model. Most combine thermal imaging with radar tracking and AI-assisted guidance, with a human operator usually only taking manual control for the final few seconds of an intercept. That last detail matters, because it shows exactly how far this technology has come in just a couple of years. Ukrainian officers have openly said that their earliest interceptors started out as simple hobby drones, with jerry-rigged grenades taped underneath them. Improvised, basic, almost desperate solutions built out of necessity in the early days of the drone war. Now, that same country is fielding interceptors so advanced, so autonomous, that the United States Pentagon itself has been actively looking to buy them. Let that sink in for a second. The country that started this fight, defending itself with duct-taped hobby drones, is now building autonomous AI hunters good enough that the most powerful military on Earth wants to purchase them. So, why does all of this matter beyond just the technology itself? Because speed and scale are the whole ballgame in this kind of war. When a single human operator has to manually fly every single interceptor, chase every single target, and make every single split-second decision, there's a hard limit on how many drones one person, or even one team, can handle at once. Russia knows this. That's exactly why Russia keeps sending Shaheds in bigger and bigger waves, sometimes hundreds, in a single night, hoping to simply overwhelm the number of human operators available to respond. An AI system that automates 95% of the engagement completely changes that equation. A system that handles the tricky final phase of terminal guidance on its own means one single operator can potentially manage multiple interceptions happening at the same time, instead of being locked into just one target at a time. Multiply that across an entire country's air defense network, and you start to understand why this quiet technological shift might matter just as much as any single missile or fighter jet destroyed on the battlefield. There's also a deeper story hiding underneath all of this. Russia's newest Shahed drones are being built in a place called the Alabuga Special Economic Zone in Tatarstan, which is essentially Russia's main drone factory. According to Ukraine's own presidential envoy for sanctions policy, each one of these Alabuga-built Shaheds relies on roughly 294 imported parts, including about 120 from China and Taiwan, and around 100 more from the United States. Even Russia's most advanced AI-guided drones are still quietly dependent on foreign-made components smuggled or routed in from around the world. Which means, every time Ukraine finds a way to intercept these drones more effectively, it's not just stopping an attack. It's making Russia burn through expensive, hard-to-replace, internationally sourced components even faster, for a result that just gets shot out of the sky before it ever reaches its target. So, here's where we land. Russia built a Shahed that can now see and target on its own using artificial intelligence. Ukraine answered by building interceptors that can hunt, track, and kill using artificial intelligence too, automating 95% of what used to require a skilled, exhausted human being staring at a screen at 3 in the morning. One of Ukraine's newest hunters doesn't even bother chasing its prey anymore. It just climbs above it and waits. And all of this has been happening quietly, night after night, revealed to the public in small pieces, while most of the world is still only paying attention to fighter jets and missile barrages. This is the real shift worth watching. Not one dramatic battle, not one single explosion, but a slow, steady handover of the fight in the skies, from human hands to artificial intelligence, on both sides at once. And whichever country's AI ends up reacting faster, seeing clearer, and adapting quicker in the months ahead, might end up deciding a huge part of how this entire war in the skies eventually plays out. If this video helped you understand just how much this war has quietly changed, hit like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments whether you think Ukraine's AI hunters can keep up as Russia keeps upgrading its own Shaheds. I'll see you in the next one.